In the Orkney Islands, far in the north of Scotland, the waves whispered strange tales the islanders spoke of only in hushed voices, about enchanted sea creatures called Selkie. They lived as seals beneath the ocean's surface, but on moonlit nights, they rose from the water, shedding their seal skins, and transformed into humans beautiful beyond imagination, so beauty, mysterious, and aching with something deep and unspoken. At the ferrage of the island lived a woman named Maureen alone, her heart heavy with grief since the sea took her husband. Every night she sat by the window, gazing at the water, telling her sorrow to the ocean, and crying quietly. Then one night, the world was eerily still. A thick fog blanketed the shore, and from the distance came a soft, haunting melody. She stood, drawn to the sound, and walked slowly into the mist until she saw him. A man stood on the rocks. His hair was wet, his eyes the color of the sea at sunset. He was wrapped in a gray blanket, glistening with sea mist. Looked at her, and in a voice that echoed like a memory, he said, "You were crying for me, and I heard you." Maureen froze. She didn't understand who he was, but her heart recognized something long before her mind did. From that night on, they met beneath the moon. Never said much, but he didn't need to. His presence was enough. Listened. He smiled, and with him she felt something she hadn't known in years: warmth, safety, and laughter. For the first time in so long, Maureen could sleep without nightmares. She smiled without pretending, but something was always off. Each morning, she woke to find wet footprints leading away from her door, back toward the sea. And when she asked where he lived, he only smiled and stayed silent. On gray morning, walking alone on the beach, she noticed something unusual: a seal skin, folded carefully beneath a heavy stone. Her heart sank. She knew this meant something as she reached for it. He appeared, his face different now, no longer calm. His eyes were filled with fear and tears. In a choked whisper he said, "If you take the skin, I'll be yours for real, never return to my world. But if you give it back, I'll have to leave you." Maureen stood still. Her heart screamed for him to stay, but her soul whispered, "If you truly love him, let him be free." Stepped closer, the seal skin in her trembling hands. Their eyes meet, a moment where everything was said without words: love, pain, loss, and the fear of goodbye. Then, gently, she handed it to him, pulled her into one last embrace. His voice shook as he whispered, "I would have stayed and loved you as your prisoner, but your love set me free." And with that, he turned toward the waves and vanished beneath the sea. She never saw him again, but on full moon nights, she would find tiny seashells on her doorstep and hear the same haunting melody floating on the wind, as if his voice was still whispering to her, "I'm still here."